The classroom culture happens through the supportive structures. So I think I see both of these leaning into each other. I show students first that I've created a schedule and assignments and learning goals that I think will help them learn and be successful. But then I have to really carefully open up the classroom time for them to decide what would be helpful. So it's really, they should always be filling our classroom time. So I try to set up our structure in such that it's a flipped classroom, right? So when we have worksheets every day, I have problems on there, but I give students time to ask questions outside of that worksheet and to create a different problem, right? So the structure is there, but if we want to take segues, if we want to jump to something else, we have that ability to do so because of our structure. And this is honestly my favorite time. I love when students raise their hand in class and they're like, okay, yeah, I get this question, but what if? And then we get a blank page on the screen and we're like, okay, yeah, but what if? Design a problem for me. And it's because they have had a pre-lecture video, because they have done this one practice problem, and now in class we have time, they get to create the practice problem. And then they get to answer it because I don't have anything prepared. So then I ask them, oh, this is a great question. Can anyone help us understand this? And usually I try to pool more than one students as an answer to really talk about how we're approaching the problem rather than trying to just get to the right answer again. Um, and it's my favorite time because they're taking control of their learning. They're trying to be the teacher and like, well, what if I made this question? And it's always something really complicated and really unique. And then we have this time to be like, that's a great question. Like, let's unpack it. Um, and then when the metacognitive surveys and exam wrappers come in and I ask them what would be more helpful, they get to still again decide and have more opinions on the worksheets. I'll change and adjust the worksheets. I'll change and adjust my lecture videos. And so it's really wonderful to see them analyze what they need to be successful, and have that culture of agency because of the foundation, right? Because they still get to choose how they interact with the structure. I think that's my biggest tip and trick of, all right, I have a basic foundation for us so that it's kind of like we have the boat, but you get to drive it and decide where it goes. This is my favorite question. Of course, I still have dreams. Um, I am an chemistry education researcher, so I'm always thinking of new things that I can incorporate into the classroom. I would love to think about how gestures and sign language and interpretation of kinesthetic learning or even educational games could be incorporated into organic chemistry. I am a big nerd when it comes to tabletop role-playing games, and I think it would be fascinating to think about how entertainment can go into the classroom. And so I always have hopes and dreams of trying something new. And going back to that word rigor, I want to make sure we disconnect the idea that having fun, it can't be rigorous. That's not a true sentence in my mind. Having fun has nothing to do with rigor. Having fun just means that you relate to a topic. And shouldn't we all do that in learning? If we could make education engaging and fun and student driven, like let them decide what they want to learn in this beautiful topic of organic chemistry. And P.S., let's make it fun and engaging. That would be ideal. And so what I would love to do is to, and I can't do this by myself. It would be with other people. Let's get some creative minds together and try something fun. And that's all you need to do. Try one little thing, right? To make it fun. It could even just be one day where you do something engaging and fun and different and see how it goes. Right? And I'm sure if you have students in mind as being the center of that learning, it's gonna it's gonna be transformational. So yeah, I would absolutely keep honing in on this class and keep changing it and evolving it because my students are changing and research is changing and what is enjoyable and what is relatable needs to be at the forefront of the classroom, especially in organic chemistry. With the reputation we have, we got to make it fun and make it creative.